What is up, my guys, and welcome back to the channel known as Azure. As always, I'm your most enduring host, Daniel, and oh my god, do we have stuff to talk about in this latest installment of rundowns. Honestly, with how WandaVision was going, like in the past, I wasn't sure what they were gonna do. I'm still not sure what they're gonna do, even though there's only one episode left, because we're on the cusp of the season finale. Since this is episode 8 of a nine episode run of a season. So this is the prelude, either one of those two words, into what's going to happen in the season finale that's coming up next week at the time of this recording. But as always, before we get into that, I gotta do all that YouTuber BS, which I really don't like doing all the time. But YouTubers go to YouTube. If I didn't do that, well then I'd just be different, and apparently that's being wrong. So yeah, as always, if you guys like my stuff, you know what to do. Don't like it, you already know what to do. I may look at what you don't like. I may not look at what you don't like. Honestly, just because it's my show. You could dislike what I like. I could dislike what you like. So, yeah. As always, questions, comments, concerns, some confessions you want to admit, you know what to do. And as always, links to everything else: Twitch, Instagram, and maybe Discord will be in the description below. I say maybe because I don't know. I've been feeling a little iffy about the whole Discord thing. I mean, I'll put it sometimes. I won't put it next sometimes. It's mainly like it's a personal thing, really. Like if I want to put the Discord in, my reasons behind not putting it sometimes. Anyways. Let's get into it. Episode 8, and I'm gonna say this right here now. Holy shit! Just holy shit! I know I exaggerate almost every single time a new episode of WandaVision comes out. It's just because the story itself is like ever changing. Just like how the episodes are always in different time periods. The story itself is basically ever changing. I want to say it's not. I don't want to say it's a bad thing, but I also don't want to say it's a completely good thing, because just literally how. It might be a bad thing in a sense that it's setting itself way too high of some expectations that people are going to have for this season finale. And if it doesn't meet those expectations, then people are going to be pissed. And if it oversees them, then people are just going to be, again, pissed because, well, then they're just going to be disappointed if this series gets to season 2 and it doesn't live up to how season 1 ended. So, yeah, I want to say still, like, this is, oh my god, I can't even put it into words. Wow. Okay, yeah. It's a good show. It is probably one of the better shows that to come out of this decade and recently, and that's just coming from me. Aside from me being a comic fan, a Marvel fan, whatever you want to call me or anything like that. But yeah. Okay, that's with that out of the way. Let's just get into the whole rundown. Episode kicks off with Agatha Harkness's origin, in a sense, well, pseudo origin. We don't really know how she came into this world. We don't really know how she got her powers. I guess she learned it. I mean, they do give little hints here and there, and so on. So it cuts to Salem in 1693, I think. I'm probably off on that date either way. I'm not trying to be as specific as I want to be. So, yeah. So 1693, she's on trial for practicing some forbidden magic or learning some forbidden magic or just reading forbidden magic, which of course happens whenever someone decides to want to branch out or something like that. It's always considered forbidden and not against the code or something like that. And so yeah, she's put on trial by her sisters and her mother apparently, and they try to take away her powers, but she pulls a Uno reverse card and says, "Nope, y'all trying to take my powers. I'm gonna take your powers. I'm gonna take your life force," in a sense, because you just see the whole group become zombified and everything like that, and you're like, "Oh my fucking god, what the fuck is she doing?" And at first, she looks like she doesn't want to do it, but then she looks content to doing it, and then she looks like she's enjoying it in a sense. I don't know about this. Agatha Harkness's, or yeah, I'm just gonna say Agatha. Agatha's actress kind of rubs me the wrong way in this opening scene. Like, I don't want to say she's a bad actor, but she wasn't really all that convincing in this opening. Her cries were obviously fake, and like she tried honestly to put on a good front to make it look real, but no, I wasn't buying it at all. Like, she could do a lot better than this. Come on, considering how high the bar is set for an actor to portray themselves in like a high budget movies or TV shows or anything like that, you gotta kind of call it out when you see bullshit acting like this. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to say bullshit acting. I mean, it's just like, it could just be better. That's all I really want to say. Yeah. So she steals all the life forces of every single witch that's around her. I guess that's how she lived for so long and how she keeps looking the same age, because, well, she's kind of just using a combination of her powers and the life force she stole. Cut to her being in the basement with Wanda, because that's where episode 7 left off. And, well, she's holding Mr. Senior Scratchy Scratch, which, as I mentioned before, could be her son, because her son's name in the comics is Scratch, which I want to draw back to the whole dumbass thing of how people thought that would be Doctor Strange. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If that's Doctor Strange, then fine, that's Doctor Strange. But so on, that is not Doctor Strange. Like, I don't know who came up with that theory. I don't know why they came up with that theory, why they thought it was a good theory. But yeah, that's not Doctor Strange, really. Okay, now I'm getting way off track now. Okay, now we're getting into the whole conversation between Wanda and Agatha. Wanda's looking confused where her kids are at because, well, Agatha stole her kids in a sense. So Agatha, all she wants to know is how Wanda actually made the hex, how she actually created everything, and what spells did she use, what kind of magic did she use. Because she goes on a little tangent where she describes what kind of spells actually go into making the hex. There's transmutation spells, there's mind manipulation spells, and so on and so forth. There's matter transference spells, there's matter reorganization spells that go into creating the hex. And Wanda just did it like that. She did it literally with no effort or anything like that. And Wanda keeps saying she doesn't know, and Agatha believes her. Like, she believes that she doesn't know. So what does she do? She takes Wanda down a trip to memory lane, starting from when she was a child all the way to when she made the hex. Now this is interesting. We heard Wanda's backstory before, but we never actually got a chance to see it at all in the MCU. So this is interesting. Like, there was a clip in end credit scene in not Civil War, in the Winter Soldier. Oh my god, why can't I remember these movie names? Either way, there's an end credit scene in the Winter Soldier that shows her and Pietro like showing off their powers because they're the result of experiments from Hydra. And yeah, but we never got to see how she got her powers, what the kind of experiments were done on her. Then we get the whole backstory of her and her brother hiding under the bed, scared that a missile was going to blow up in front of their face at Red Stark Industries, and we never saw that. And then the same thing goes with her and Vision's like whole little like togetherness in a sense, where like we don't really see what started them being like wanting to be a couple or anything like that. So this is a good like actual revelation of what Wanda went through in a sense. Plus, also answers some questions within the show itself, like what the first flashback cuts to Wanda in her Sokovian home. She's a kid. I want to say maybe like 8 or 9, and she's watching TV with her family, and they're sitcoms because her dad sells sitcom DVDs, and you see all these little sitcom references that ended up being the inspiration to some of the episodes, like I Love Lucy, Bewitched, Malcolm in the Middle, and so on and so forth. And Dick Van Dyke too, that hasn't made an appearance yet, but I mean, it is basically her favorite show. Like, she literally says, "Oh, season 2, episode 21," and she used the title name, and like it's her favorite. Pietro even goes and said, "Dick Van Dyke, sitcom. That's all you want to watch." And her parents don't give her any grief because, well, she likes what she likes, and that happens. That's what and while that's going on outside, there's a whole civil war going on because, well, a civil war in Sokovia, because, well, that's what happened in Sokovia while she was growing up. Like, the country was at unrest, and they didn't know really what was going to happen. So she's watching this Dick Van Dyke episode with her parents. She's laughing, she's having a good time, and then all of a sudden, boom, fucking missile blows up on the side of her house, killing her parents and knocking her and Pietro off to the side. We see her get up, and we see her looking for Pietro. Pietro pulls her off to the side, and when you see another missile go down, and it's like how she said, it reads Stark Industries, but it doesn't blow up. Pietro wanted to hide under the bed. You see a red light going off, meaning it's still armed and everything, but it doesn't go off. And you see Wanda just reaching out, trying to stop the missile, but then the flashback cuts off. Agatha comes in and says, "What happened? Did you use a spell? Did you freeze time or anything like that?" She's like, "No, like it just didn't go off." Like, Wanda literally doesn't know if she actually did a spell or not, because we don't know if she doesn't know if that she's actually a witch to begin with, or she got her witch powers from the Mind Stone, which is really Agatha's main theory, that Wanda was actually a witch to begin with. And, well, it kind of makes sense. Like, honestly, this really shouldn't have happened. The whole, again, missiles malfunction and everything like that, but the way the missile malfunctioned but it was still armed really doesn't make any sense. So it could be that she did involuntarily use a probability spell that Agatha said that she did to make it so it doesn't blow up. But yeah, cut to the next flashback where it's her first experimentation within Hydra, and you see the Loki staff, you see the crystal that's inside of it, and you see the two scientists on the other side of a glass wall. Wanda walks in, looks at the staff, and the scientists say, "Okay, walk up to the staff." And then she's like, "Just walk up to it." They're like, "Yep." Then on the side note, you hear like, "Doctor, what are you doing? We've had records of no one actually surviving this." And then they cut off the mic. The stone literally flies out of the staff, goes to Wanda's face, and bursts open to reveal the Mind Stone inside. And then while Wanda's looking at it, I guess the Mind Stone imbued some of its power into her, and we see out of her eyes in a POV shot a silhouetted Scarlet Witch, like full-blown costume, not the one from the Halloween episode, not the one from the 90s, but the new age one, where it's basically like her MCU outfit but with her 90s headpiece. Like that is probably like, that is a good one. That's probably one of my favorite costumes of Wanda. Like it's not cheesy like the old 90s thing, it's not retro like her debut one, and it's not like grungy like a other 90s costumes. Like this one actually looks nice and practical, and it fits well into the MCU timeline of how she's actually portrayed in red and everything like that. All she really needed was a headpiece, and that really pulls it all together. Like that shows up in episode 9. I'm gonna be happy. I'm gonna be happy. But yeah, that happened. And she gets her powers like that, but she still hasn't awakened them, I guess. And the doctors are going over the recording footage, and like it shows her looking at this mind stone, but then it cuts to her being on the floor, like how it is when she manipulates scenes from her own TV show, in a sense. In fact, when people were looking into it on it, like weird cuts here and there. And I guess that's where she learned it from. But yeah, that's the end of that backstory. Agatha gives another rundown saying, "Oh, so you got your powers amplified by the mind stone. Interesting," in a sense. Like, so a little baby witch who doesn't know how to control her powers gets a whole power boost from an infinity stone. Now that's something. And then cut to the third flashback. You see it's the events after, I guess, Age of Ultron, where Wanda and Vision are in the Avengers complex, and Wanda describes it as her first home since her brother died and everything like that. And you see Wanda watching Malcolm in the Middle, which is honestly, you can't go wrong with watching Malcolm in the Middle. It's a good show. Might do a video on that later on. I don't know. But yeah, you cut to her like sensing Vision's outside her wall, and she says Vision, and then he comes in, and he's wondering why she's watching this show. It's like, it's a comfort show, really. And they're going back and forth and everything like that. Like, what? It's you could tell it's pretty early on that Pietro died, because Wanda does not want to talk about it at all. But then Vision reassures her in a sense that maybe the whole grief is a form of love and that it's everlasting. It's a sweet moment, and you can see like that moment right there is the beginning of the relationship, really. I know I'm not doing a very good job at explaining it, but I mean, I'm doing what I can, really. Like, I don't want to give you like the whole spoiler review of everything like that. I know there's spoilers in this video, but I mean, come on, you gotta watch this show for yourself, in a sense, to get your own, to know what you're actually supposed to feel. Okay, sorry, I'm getting a little more of a tangent. And so that happens. Agatha goes back, and we cut to Wanda's last flashback, where she's going to the sword base, HQ, whatever you want to call it, and she asks to see Vision's body, not because she wants to take it, because she wants to bury it. She wants to give him a proper funeral, as she puts it. And the director of Sword lets her in and says, "Okay, look, you're gonna be able to see the body, but you can't really take it. That's $3 billion worth of vibranium that you're just gonna put in the ground. We can't really let that happen." And as he's saying this, we're seeing that they're dissecting Vision. Really, they're taking him apart to know exactly how he works. And Wanda's literally horrified at this, but she accepts it. She doesn't take the body. She goes down there. He lets her go down there. His name's Hayworth. I don't know why I keep calling him the director. It's Hayworth, literally. Hayworth. That's it. Hayworth lets her go down there. She puts some magic into the hole of Vision's head where Thanos ripped out his stone, and she says, "I can't feel you," because if you guys know, the last words that Vision told Wanda were "I feel you and I love you like that. All I feel is you." That's literally what he said before Wanda killed him. And so yeah, that kind of hits a little hard for people who were kind of rooting for Wanda to bring him back to life. But no, she leaves the complex. She doesn't take the body. So the video that Hayward showed everyone else about Wanda taking the body was doctored. He doctored the footage for who knows what reason. But yeah, so that happened, and so we cut to Wanda going to Westview, where we see an empty plot, and we see a note that Wanda has, and Vision wrote it as a map, put a heart where the piece of land is, and said, for something on the lines of "for our future, V," in a heart. And literally that just kind of broke Wanda, because he wanted to start a life with her. He loved her to the point where he was willing to leave the Avengers, or they were willing to leave the Avengers to live a normal life. And it just broke her down to tears, and she's crying. She's kneeling on the ground, and as she's doing this, there's a whole bunch of power building up inside of her, and it bursts open, covering all of Westview, creating the house, creating the whole episode 1 of the sitcom. Literally, like, she literally doesn't know how she did it. She just felt this pain in her heart, and it just burst open. Like, she was telling the truth the whole time. There was no deal with Mephisto. Agatha had no intention of actually helping Wanda with this creation. Like, honestly, like, for all the answers this thing gets, is kind of a disappointment for all the theories to be really let down in a sense, especially the Mephisto thing. I poured in hard that Mephisto was going to be in this series. I'm still kind of hoping that he is going to be in this series, really, because of how her kids are. I don't know if I mentioned the last one, but in the last one I said that her kids are actually a piece of Mephisto's soul in a sense, that she made a deal to make him because she couldn't make kids with Vision for obvious reasons. So there's still hope that Mephisto might show up. I'm not really sure that's going to happen, but hey, who knows. So yeah, now Agatha knows exactly what happened. Like, she literally knows exactly what Wanda did, and she's saying this. We cut to Wanda back in the basement, running outside, hearing her kids scream for help. See Agatha floating up, holding out leashes and choking her kids in a sense, and explaining to her, Wanda, you aren't supposed to exist. You are literally not supposed to exist. The kind of magic you wield should not be wielded at all. You have chaos magic. Chaos. Why did I say chaos? Chaos magic. And literally, if you guys don't know what chaos magic is, it's literally the most powerful form of magic in the Marvel universe. Like, literally, to master that, you are on the point of a god in a sense. Like, to create everything out of nothing using that magic, and that literally scares Agatha, like, to the point where she's willing to kill kids just so Wanda would stop using chaos magic, because it's that dangerous, it's that powerful. And yeah, and we get a little name drop of Wanda. She's like, you know what she said after she says, you know what that is? It's chaos magic, and you know what that makes you? The Scarlet Witch. I want to say that's okay. That's okay, in a sense of giving her name, but I mean, come on, really? You're gonna name her the Scarlet Witch just because she uses chaos magic? I mean, come on. Like, it's cheesy, but I mean, I get it. They have to name drop her somewhere, somehow, and everything like that. But anyways, yeah, that's the episode. That's where the episode ends. I'm literally thinking, what the fuck just happened? And also, holy shit, that just happened. Like, I'm excited that she got her name, but not really excited about the delivery and how and what the way she got it. But yeah, then after the credits roll, the first wave of credits, there's always a mid-credits scene. Well, not always. There's a mid-credits scene, and I kid you not, it's Hayworth saying, "Are you ready to release the weapon?" And his assistant is like, "Yes." And he says, "We've taken this thing apart and put it back together so many times that we know how this works inside out, but we couldn't find a power source. We've tried so many power sources equivalent to that of the sun, because if you guys don't know, Vision's original power source was the crystal that was powered by the sun." So that's a little thing, but we see a piece of Wanda's magic that infused that with a drone, and that goes into the new Vision's body. They recreated Vision's body, and it's white Vision, literally white Vision. If you guys probably don't know what white Vision is, because most people who watch the MCU just watch the movies. I don't want to say all of them, but most of you guys do. Like, white Vision is Vision, but there's no humanity in him. Literally, go back a few story arcs, like a while back, and you'll see white Vision story arcs where he literally just looks at Wanda with a blank slate. He looks at his own kids with a blank slate, stating facts, cold hard facts. This is Vision, literally, as a computer. There's no humanity within him. There's no Mind Stone to give him personality. There's no Banner. There's no Tony. There's no Ultron. There's no Hank Pym. Literally, it's him, just a robot, cold, calculating machinery. And that literally is gonna break Wanda's heart, because if you guys don't know, the Vision we've been seeing in WandaVision is not Vision's body. That's why he was breaking apart when he got out of the Hex, because he's a construct of the Hex. Wanda made him from nothing but memories. Literally, she made him out of nothing, and that's why she really can't look at it. She looks at him the way she does because that's what she remembers him as, and that's why the whole dead Vision body thing that happened a few episodes before shocked her so much, because she was remembering that Vision's actually dead, and yeah, she doesn't want to remember that. But yeah, fucking white Vision is coming, and that's going to destroy Wanda. That is literally going to break her heart even more. I really am curious what they're going to do in episode 9. And I'm wondering how long episode 9 is going to be, because if you guys, the episodes are ranging from about 40 to 30 minutes. Like, sure, that's enough time for what this is going for, but for a season finale, it's got to be at least an hour. It's got to be an hour for this, because they're packing so much stuff. There's stuff with Monica, there's stuff with White Vision, there's stuff with Scarlet Witch, there's going to be a fight with Agatha, Mephisto might appear, Doctor Strange might appear in a sense. Like, come on. The shit's going to go down in the season finale, and if it's not well paced, if it's not well thought out of how it's gonna happen, it's gonna either be a complete hot mess, or it's gonna be one of the best season finales in all of TV right now. Like, I'm just gonna say that there's a middle ground, because there's always a middle ground where it's gonna be okay enough to pass, but not okay enough to be great. Where it's good enough to be not a letdown, but it's not good enough to be, oh my god, that just fucking happened. I'm gonna talk about this forever and ever and ever like that. But yeah, literally, I'm excited for the last one. I'm gonna cover the last one, and as always, after that, I'm probably gonna give my whole rundown of the season of everything like that. So yeah, that's episode 8 for you. I'm excited for episode 9. I'm excited for what's happening in the future of WandaVision and everything like that. And that's going to do it for this video. Again, if you guys like this, you already know what to do. If you guys don't like this, you already know what to do. Questions, comments, concerns, you already know what to put them. As always, links to everything else. Maybe Discord, maybe not Discord, will be at the bottom. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully, we'll cover the season finale. Alright, bye guys.